Ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks are going to the NBA Finals. The New York Knicks, for the first time in 27 years, are going to the NBA Finals. I don't think anybody in the summer of 2022 would have thought that the Knicks signing Jalen Brunson would turn out to be the best move they would make in the entire 21st century. All right? That is the best thing the Knicks have done since drafting Patrick Ewing. Okay? The New York Knicks are being led to the NBA Finals by Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, a guy who everybody thought, hey, the Knicks are overpaying this brother. The Knicks have overpaid on him. Not even 2 months into his Knicks tenure, people were saying, you know what? Maybe they underpaid. Maybe someone like Jalen Brunson is actually being underpaid. And he is being underpaid. He's still being underpaid because he even took a pay cut. He took a pay cut to help the Knicks go out and acquire more talent to put around him. And here we are. We are 4 years into Jalen Brunson being a Knick. And they are in the NBA Finals. They are in the NBA Finals. And you know, this has been one of the most dominant playoff runs ever so far. I mean, you know, hey, they could end up getting swept in the finals. I don't think they will. But this has been one of the most dominant playoff runs ever so far. The Knicks have They have had first of all, they've won 11 straight games. And then they've had 2 sweeps. All 3 of the closeout games they have been blowouts. They beat Atlanta. Blowouts on the road, by the way. They beat Atlanta by 50 points. They beat Philly by 30 points. And they beat Cleveland last night by like 40 points. They have blown out the competition. They go down 2-1 in the first series, in the first round, to Atlanta, and everyone's sitting here like, wow, the Knicks are a bunch of clowns. They traded 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges, and he put up 0 points in a playoff game. And ever since that moment, the Knicks have been unstoppable. Jalen Brunson's been elite. Karl-Anthony Towns has been elite. Mikal Bridges has been elite. OG Anunoby's played like an all-star. All right? Josh Hart has had some fantastic games. In addition to the fact that if he's not having a fantastic game, he's probably having a pretty good game, regardless. Deuce McBride's been great. Landry Shamet has been great. Mitchell Robinson's been great. They've won 11 straight games. They have the highest point differential in that stretch of all time. Of all time. Playoffs, regular season, throughout all of NBA history, the Knicks have just been blowing out the competition. They beat Atlanta in 6, and they beat the brakes off of them on their home floor. They go to Philly, and they swept Philly after Philly just did a 3-1 comeback against the 2-seed Boston Celtics. And then they go and they sweep the Cleveland Cavaliers, who had just beat the 1-seed Detroit Pistons in 7 games. So it's like, they are dominating. They're not just beating these teams. They are destroying them. They are destroying these teams. They're doing it at home. They're doing it on the road. It don't matter. They have a historical comeback. The second biggest fourth quarter comeback of all time in the playoffs, down 22 with 7:45 to go, 7:50 to go, something like that. They come back. They were down 22 points in the fourth quarter to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they came back and won it. It's amazing. It is amazing. And now the Knicks are going to the finals. They beat Atlanta in 6. They beat Philly in 4. They beat Cleveland in 4. The only 2 games the Knicks have even lost in this playoffs were by 1 point, by the way. By 1 point. And now the Knicks are going to the finals. They're either going to play the San Antonio Spurs or the OKC Thunder. And I know everybody on the internet Everybody on the internet is saying, oh, the Western Conference Finals is the real finals. The Knicks don't stand a chance against either of these teams. Well, here's the thing. Again, the Knicks are having a historically great playoffs. They're dominating all the teams that they've played. I'm not saying they're going to dominate the Spurs or the Thunder, but they're having a historically great playoffs, and if they're great enough to make the finals, they are great enough to win the finals. It doesn't matter who they're playing, okay? Last year, everyone said the Pacers will get destroyed by the OKC Thunder. Everyone said the Thunder would sweep them. Maybe the Pacers would get lucky and it'd go to 5. It went to 7 games, and the Indiana Pacers were one half of basketball away from beating the Thunder. So if you are sitting there trying to tell me that the Knicks don't stand a chance, then you're out of your mind. The New York Knicks have as good of a chance of winning this championship as the Spurs do and as the Thunder do. And here's another thing. The Thunder and Spurs are both beat up. The Thunder and Spurs are both beat up. The Knicks aren't really beat up. So even if you want to say, oh, they're way better than the Knicks, the fact of the matter is the Spurs and Thunder, they're both playing hurt. They're playing a really, really tough series against each other. So that I think favors the Knicks even more. So we very well could see the New York Knicks win the NBA championship for the first time in 53 years in just a matter of a few weeks. And man, we're getting pretty close to Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns being like Hall of Fame status, okay? Like everyone thinks it's easy to get in the Hall of Fame. All right, but we're getting pretty close to Brunson and Cat getting in the Hall of Fame. I don't know Karl Anthony Towns' career accomplishments off the top of my head, but I was looking at Brunson's yesterday, and I'm pretty sure he was Player of the Year in college. He's a 2-time champion in college. He comes to the NBA. He's Clutch Player of the Year, in-season tournament MVP, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, 3-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA, 3 conference finals appearances, now a finals appearance, might win a ring, might win finals MVP, is likely to be an All-Star and All-NBA a few more times. The brother's probably going in the Hall of Fame, and the same thing goes for Karl Anthony Towns. Like, those two are putting together Hall of Fame resumes. And Karl Anthony Towns, this was his 3rd straight conference finals. Karl Anthony Towns finally, after 3 years of being in the conference finals, is going to the NBA finals. And, this is going to be real exciting. I'm not going to lie. I'm really hoping that the Spurs face the Knicks in the finals. I just think it'd be a far more entertaining series than if the Thunder do. So I've been rooting for the Spurs. I've been rooting for the Spurs to beat the Thunder. And I really want to see a Spurs-Knicks finals. And funnily enough, that would also be a rematch of the last time that the Knicks were in the finals back in 1999. But it's going to be Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals tonight. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see Thunder versus Spurs. And hopefully the Spurs win.